today.
Leaving details out, WEYI Utilities employee says he was asked to lie about lead levels during the Flint water crisis.
Students want change at Michigan State University. How they're voicing concerns about the interim president on campus today.
And still wrapping up repairs. Wind crews expect southbound I-75 to fully reopen now after a semi-crash there.
Good Friday morning. We made it 6:30. Thanks for joining us here on NBC 25 today. I'm Rochelle Spence.
I'm Mike Woolfolk. Another long week coming to a close, and in a nice way too, because the temperatures are going up.
Ahmed, it felt so nice out yesterday.
It was just a light jacket. That's all you needed. Light jacket. You had the sunshine today. More sun, pretty similar actually when you talk about the temperatures in terms of our highs. We're mainly holding steady with that. Cloud cover right now, not much. When you look at it, it's barely anything to watch for. The thumb, you're still clear at the moment. We're going to hold on to that as long as we can. 20s right now, holding steady. If the wind does not shift out of the northeast, which is important, then the thumb will not get the cloud cover. You'll stay clear. So we need to watch this. If the winds make a shift to the northeast later this morning, that is how you would get the clouds. But at the moment, still doing fine. Downside is with a breeze of any type. You're looking at wind chills down in the teens across the region. Bundle up. That's the bit of the chilly part. Now through the day, sunshine builds nice and bright. After the kids come home, and actually more towards the evening, we'll hit our highs near 40. We're going to talk 50s coming up.
The latest now on 5 Clio teens charged in that deadly rock-throwing incident on I-75. They won't return to court now until DNA testing is complete. Investigators will test evidence that came from the scene. Now, all 5 teens face charges in 32-year-old Kenneth White's death. That happened last October. Prosecutors say the boys threw concrete off the Dodge Road overpass in Vienna Township, hitting the vehicle White was in. Their next court appearance now comes up in late April.
Former Flint Utilities manager Mike Glasgow takes the stand again today in court as 4 current and former State Department of Environmental Quality employees listen. The 4 MDEQ workers all face charges in the Flint water crisis. Glasgow says after the water source switched to the Flint River, Stephen Bush and Mike Prisby called him in July 2015, telling him to remove 2 high lead level test results from reports. Glasgow says this was the first time he was asked to omit results, and it made him nervous.
I was surprised just with all the, I guess, publicity around the water switch and the issues we were having. And I knew with removing a couple numbers that were high and above the action level, it would affect our 90th percentile calculation in the end. So there was some concern.
Glasgow accepted a plea deal after admitting he filed false information about lead levels in Flint's water. Bush, Prisby, Patrick Cook, and Leanne Schechter-Smith are accused of not acting when they knew something was wrong. 6:33 now. Tomorrow, millions will participate in the March for Our Lives rally in Washington, D.C.
But those who can't make it to the Capitol can protest gun violence and promote student safety right here in mid-Michigan.
We have team coverage this morning. Veronica Meadows in Mount Pleasant with what organizers are planning there.
But we're going to begin with Courtney Wheaton. She's at Flint's Kersley Park this morning, where students will hear from Congressman Dan Kildee tomorrow. Courtney, what do you think they're going to hear?
Well, it's really about hearing from them. That's what the congressman said. But this event was actually planned in a matter of weeks, and it's already gaining a lot of traction. Now, it will take place right behind me at Wilson Park. This is on the U of M Flint campus. Take a look at your screen. Here's what you need to know. The rally takes place at noon tomorrow. The address is 303 East Kersley Street. You can sign up online. I'll have that on our website. This rally will include speeches by Michigan lawmakers, a question and answer session, and an overall platform for you to voice your ideas to the world. Congressman Dan Kildee will be in attendance. I asked him what his message will be for the crowds.
These young people are changing the debate in our country on the issue of gun violence. And the thing I'm going to tell them is keep speaking, because you're making a difference. And then I want to listen to what they have to say. It's less important that I say something to them as it is that I listen to what they have to say.
organizers want to remind you this is a peaceful protest and all opinions matter. So even if it's not the popular opinion, they definitely want to hear from you. Now, our Veronica Meadows is actually in Mount Pleasant right now with a very similar event. We have team coverage. Veronica, what are students down there saying?
Students are right now locking down those last minute details, Courtney. They tell us that they have been very busy since the Florida shooting, really working to make their voices heard. But also, like the participants that you spoke to, they are saying that they want everybody to bring their own opinions out, but make sure to do it peacefully. Just ahead, we'll talk about more about the community support that they've also received. That's coming up when you make the switch over to Fox 66 in our next half hour.
All right, Veronica, Courtney, thank you both. Michigan State University students, faculty, and staff want to say in selecting the next university president. They'll hold a rally tonight called Reclaim MSU. Participants will put personalized letters on the administration building and cover the campus in teal. Organizers say they are not happy with how the interim president, John Engler, was chosen. They also want faculty, staff, and students represented on the presidential search committee and any forums held with top candidates. The rally starts at 5 this afternoon. It's outside the administration building on Auditorium Road.
Gaines Township investigators are trying to figure out what caused a brush fire off of Baldwin Road. Take a look. It happened near St. Joseph's Cemetery, about 300 yards behind someone's home. Neighbors noticed that fire out in the woods around 5 yesterday afternoon and called 911. When firefighters got there, they put out one fire and saw another one burning. Flames up to 4 feet high, burning about 30 acres. Gaines Township Fire Lieutenant Dale Link says the wooded area was dry and brittle.
Well, the wind just blows it in the direction and it just feeds the fire. You know, oxygen is the great fuel, the heat, oxygen. And of course that wind just blows it wherever it wants to go and it just goes rapidly.
Link says the fire could have started with a spark from some nearby train tracks that cut across the area. No one was hurt. The flames did not spread to anyone's home. And speaking of fires, the Department of National Resources, National Resources, that may be an agency as well. They have a burn ban in effect for 15 counties. The ban stretches from the Saginaw Bay to Muskegon on Lake Michigan. This includes Clare, Isabella, Midland, Bay, Gladwin, and Aranac counties. With dry conditions, officials say you should not do any open burning.
Crews continue to work on the Salzburg overpass on southbound I-75 in Bay County this morning. Here's the latest update for you. The State Transportation Department says they have 4 temporary supports in place, and they're now working on beam straightening so they can install 4 more supports. Right now, they have 1 southbound lane that's open, but officials hope to have all the lanes back open sometime this morning. The northbound lanes are not affected. Earlier this week, a semi-truck hit that overpass and then burst into flames, making those repairs necessary. All right, let's check in with Ahmed.
All right, here's what we have in the day ahead. Highs topping out a little cool still compared to where we're supposed to be. We should be in the 40s and not just the low mark, but at least we're going to head for that 40 mark today. 7:33, that's our sunrise time. Looking at the 30s, building slowly throughout the morning and going into the day with the dry conditions we've had, with the fact we've been above freezing plenty. Yeah, it's not completely thawed just yet, but we are starting to see a little bit of those allergen levels starting to pop. Very little, just a little uptick, but it's the very beginning for anybody with tree allergies. Those are the first ones to pop. Now, bright and sunny, that's the overall trend here. Temperature-wise, we're cool, but slowly rising each day as we head on towards Monday. Now, we're dry until we get to Tuesday. That's the nice part. Not a lot of rain for us, but we are going to get some by the time we get to Tuesday. Sunshine-wise, we're heading for almost 40 degrees today, along with those temps at the upper 30 mark. Now, beyond that, overnight tonight, we do cool on down, heading for the 20s. It's going to be chilly, but with clear skies holding strong. We'll talk about not just the clear skies, but also the extra heat we do have on the way. That's coming up here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Ahmed. We're joined this morning by Dale Gilmore. Thanks for waking up early. He's with the Make an Impact Foundation, talking about a very special project.
That's right. NBC 25, Fox 66, both partnering with the foundation to help kids. We're building a playground, and this year it is at Durant Turry-Mott Elementary. Our 3rd year with this partnership. Dale, why do we pick this school?
So we had Design Day yesterday at Durant Terry Mott. It was a good location. Wonderful leader named Chris Collins that's running that school. Seems to be a fantastic young man who's got all of the command of the children, which is a beautiful thing to see. Somebody in Flint really caring for their kids. So, but I don't know why we chose that location, other than there's a lot of space there for us to have our Design Day.
I wish you could have been in the newsroom yesterday. We were talking about this, you coming in studio this morning, and genuinely all of our producers were just, oh my gosh, it's that time of year again. We're so excited. This is so fun. And they were also talking about some of the, I think renderings is too fancy of a word, but these students of draw what they'd like to see in the playground.
Yeah, so they had, it was all like a puzzle piece. We had puzzle piece cutouts this year, and the kids were putting the puzzle pieces together. They had a lot of fun. And you know, we gave them some money to sort of choose which ones they liked the best and voted on their playgrounds, and it was really great. But this year, to me, it's six playgrounds is what we're going to build, and as a result of that, it's going to be a fantastic challenge, but a lot of fun. The Community Foundation of Greater Flint, thanks to their sponsorship and leadership and support, we're going to be able to fund 6 this year. And of course, Fox 66 or NBC 25.
Or both.
Whatever. We're all so happy love to be involved in all of this. And quickly, as we wrap this up, you can see some video of the playgrounds that have been built in the past and how much the kids just love playing on them. So we certainly look forward to doing this again with you, Dale. We appreciate you coming by. Even the mayor enjoys the playground. So we'll talk more about this coming up throughout the morning this morning, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, Black Panther may finally drop from the top spot at the box office this week. How far? And the film expected to topple the juggernaut. That's next in Mike's Movie Pick.
But first, here's a look at the top stories trending right now on NBC25News.com. Ahmed Badji with some impressive lip syncing.
Limp Bizkit. Or what was the name of that? No, that was a group.
That's right. Thanks for trying to help me recover.
There was Limp Bizkit.
That's not who these, this is the Spice Girls.
I'll make this way easier. I was lip syncing the Spice Girls Wannabe, which is on your screen.